Here we go. Right? It's right over here. Hey there, friends. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Whatever time it might be in your part of the world. Where's that button? That's not it. It's not that button. It's this other button over here. There it is.
Greetings, my excellent friend.
PowerShell_Freak just resubscribed for 59 months. Already 59 months.
59
Time
months. It does. Thank you so much. My goodness. No, stuff moved here on me and I don't know where it went. There it is. That's not what we want. We want this one. Thank you so much for the resub. Oh my goodness.
Robson Previeto just resubscribed for 7 months. Good morning, Fritz.
Good morning to you. Thank you so much. And I think I see another one coming. No? But the hype train is already started. Look at this. Thank you so much. Let me start that over again. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, whatever time it might be in your part of the world. It's so good to see you. My name is Jeff Fritz. Today is November 26th, 2024. We're going to write a little bit of code today.
Just resubscribed for 45 months. OMG, you live. Wait at home, holy smokes.
Thank you so much. We're doing this. M. Pulowski.
Pulowski just resubscribed for 54 months. Another month of learning.
Yes, indeed. Wait till you see what we do here in December. Thank you so much for the resub. That is phenomenal. And we're going to set up and make some donations to the Raspberry Pi Foundation. Now, it's been a long couple weeks, and we're not done yet. We're almost there. Let me say hello to the folks in the chat room. We'll get some music started. We're broadcasting live on Twitch and YouTube. We're in the middle of a hype train over there on Twitch. Just started on level 2. Thank you so much. 4 minutes to go over there. Let me greet Napalm. How you doing there? Happy time zone. Weird Beard Dev, happy Tuesday to you. We'll talk about the conference in just a minute. Good morning, Blackstones 974. There's 973 other folks out there that we'll get back to. Good morning to you in Virginia, CTI Geek. You like the epic music? Newbie Ops asks C# or Java. You're kidding. You came onto a channel with a guy named C# Fritz, and it says in the title, talking C# web dev and AI. Of course we're talking about Java. No! C#, come on now. Come on now. I've used Java my share of time, and the innovation is happening in C#. Eddie Dre, good to see you. Thank you so much for all the kind words about you're looking to do some stuff with a Raspberry Pi. That's awesome. Land of the Elite, hey. Blazer Mr. Magoo is here. C# Titan just back in Melbourne from the trip to Taiwan. That is phenomenal. I'm going to get some music playing in the background here. We're going to have some fun here. Let's start here. This is called Forget the Present. This is music from Stream Beats, the EDM playlist. It's going to show up right here. Right about here. Where is it? There it is, right there. Forget the Present. This is music that's DMCA free, royalty free. Listen to it wherever you'd like. Check it out. Streambeats.com. Big thanks to Harris Heller and his team of creators for this music we're going to listen to today. How you doing there, M. Pulowski? Good morning to you in Washington. PC Nerd with the greetings and salutations. Thank you so much. And Robson, yes. 59, absolutely. Great to see you, PowerShell Freak. You've been catching up on the .NET Conf 2024 videos. C# Titan, glad to hear that. Tons of viewership on those .NET Conf videos. Really happy to see that folks are enjoying that and having a good time with the content from .NET Conf. Because unlike other events like Microsoft Build and Ignite, it's a training event. And we want you to get that interaction. We want you to get that gritty tech discussion with no marketing fluff. And I got some pushback on my Microsoft Ignite session, and you can see that in the session that was delivered because it didn't have enough marketing fluff. C# Fritz picking between C# or Java? Obviously picking C#. That's right, Badger. Junie, thank you so much. We've got to talk about our friend Junie there for just a second. Lorsayer with the big wave. PowerShell Freak asking, how was Ignite for me? Let me finish greeting folks and we'll talk about that. I absolutely want to answer your question there, PowerShell Freak. Will Airways, hello to you. You're doing an Aspire deployment to it. So, Eddie, you're going to be looking at working with Asper 8 and deploying with Kubernetes. It should work. That's a demo that I've wanted to build so that I can deploy a sample version of Spirify.net over there. But I think SharpSite might be really fun to deploy. C# Titan with the 4 months.
Another month.
Thank you so much.
Thanks for being awesome and sharing your knowledge.
Thank you. Napalm was saying that we might be talking about Haskell. No. You love .NET Conf, wish there was more, missed a lot of Community Day 3 stuff, but that's okay. Community Day 3 is intended to be the river that just washes over to you, and you're going to grab a couple pieces of content out of it that happen during your time zone. And all 48 sessions from Day 3 are recorded and available online on the playlist. Hype train is over. We got to level 1 completed. Thank you so much for the kind support there. You need to watch the .NET Conf videos this week. Yeah, it takes some time. There's some good stuff there. The Blazer wasn't enough fluff. Let me tell you, the blazer, right? I was wearing my purple sequin blazer around Microsoft Ignite, and nobody knew who I was. Literally, nobody knew who I was at this event. They're like, Blazer? What's Blazer? Like, really? I'm at a .NET booth and you don't know what Blazer is? Like, okay. I'm delivering a session, and there's literally 30 people in the room. And it was the last session on Thursday, the last session for most folks at the event. And I'm wearing the purple sequin blazer, and nothing. They don't have it. They didn't get it. If you're running Java in production, don't you have to pay Oracle license? I think so. You saw they jumped Swagger, and it's OpenAI and Scalar. More coming there, yeah. Hey, Surly Dev, have you heard of that guy, Jeff Fritz? No, they hadn't. Not at all. Let me catch up here. There was some questions there about how was Ignite? How did we enjoy Ignite? And let me see, just make sure I have... Yeah. So, Microsoft Ignite, there was... 12,000 people there in Chicago for the event. They're still not at full size the way they were back to 30,000 some folks there. What I always like about Ignite is that you get the enterprise folks. You get the folks who are actually using the products and migrating and using the latest stuff that is available is not on their agenda at all. And migrating and understanding how they benefit from the latest stuff, why they want to migrate and upgrade, is a big deal. And that was what my talk was about. I talked about the upgrade experience. I had some talks at the .NET booth with folks. I wasn't giving a presentation. I might as well have, because I was doing, you've seen me do it here. I was doing the ad hoc live demos, right? Oh, well, how does this work with that? And I don't understand what these pieces are. And literally doing that live in front of them on the computer at the booth on the floor. I worked on the floor for a good 8-10 hours during the week. Folks could just walk up and talk to me. And I was wearing the jacket on the floor, and literally most of the folks that walked up to talk to me were just like, that's a really cool jacket. What do you do? I'm like, I program with Blazor. Oh, that's nice. I have no idea what that is. Like, okay. Like, I don't know. Maybe next time I need to have an LED jacket that's controlled with Copilot, something like that. Maybe that'll properly be marketing-y. So, I gave my talk. It's available. You can watch it on the Microsoft Ignite website. You might need to register. It's not available on YouTube yet. They're still rolling videos out to YouTube, but you'll see it pop up over there. And I was talking about Upgrade Assistant and how you can upgrade an application from .NET Framework 4.8 all the way to .NET 9, and then I showed how to upgrade to use .NET Aspire. It's not really an upgrade, but how to add .NET Aspire to your project. And folks in the room had no idea what .NET Aspire was, and there was like no response to. I showed the resiliency of .NET Aspire. I put output caching into the project that I was showing. I knocked down the dependent API that the website was using inside my demo. Just knocked down the API, so it was just the website running, but the output cache was there and it's still working. I deleted the output cache and the website still worked. It was retrying to get to the API. As soon as the API came back, it worked like there was no outage at all. Yeah, folks didn't get that at all. So that was definitely a thing. And that's okay. It's recorded. Other folks are going to watch it eventually when it gets on YouTube. We'll see what the feedback is. So, yeah. Oh yeah, Eddie. There's almost 100 some videos on the playlist now for .NET Conf. Yep. So the question from C# Titan about dropping Swagger using OpenAI and Scalar. The Swagger library managers, they weren't up for. I'm not exactly sure how it came down, but those libraries that are out there, they weren't going to support the .NET community the way that it needed to be supported. So their own version was built of OpenAPI. So it wasn't Embrace, Extend, Extinguish. It was the open source community wasn't maintaining the packages that were necessary. Might as well have streamed it as well. I totally agree, Junie. It would have been amazing. So I'm in Chicago, and so I'm there. I arrived Sunday. Monday, I worked the conference floor. What did I do? I went out with a couple folks for dinner Monday night. Tuesday worked the conference floor again? No, I arrived Monday. Tuesday worked the conference floor. Went out for dinner with folks Tuesday night. Wednesday worked the conference floor, and I got to meet the Junie Von Esch in person. Had a fantastic time. It was great. And it phenomenal always to meet any of you in person. But Junie and I have been friends for a very long time, and that was the first time we got to meet in person. Absolutely phenomenal, and so happy that I got to meet up with Junie in person. You watched my .NET Aspire Beginners series, says C# Titan. Love the teaching style, very easy to follow. I've recommended it to other folks who are interested in learning about Aspire. Thank you, C# Titan. I have the next 10, 12 episodes of C# in the cards written. I need to get them set up. I am going to be recording and producing them over December. That's coming. Hey, Panayota, how you doing there in Greece? Welcome. Yes, a jacket Copilot. I think that's a fantastic idea. With Bluetooth running off of... Yes, we can do something. You heard they covered a lot of stuff about AI at Ignite? A lot. Ignite, I think the subtitle was like the Copilot AI conference for AI professionals looking to learn more about AI. And I don't think they could get another buzzword in on that subtitle. Seriously, it's something like that. I forget exactly what it is, but the subtitle for Microsoft Ignite seriously had like 3 mentions of AI in the title. Right. Microsoft Ignite theme. Right. No. That's no. IgniteMicrosoft.com, and no, it doesn't have the stuff for. They've already announced next year's, and for some reason, they're deciding to go to San Francisco. I find that interesting. There's many reasons why that's interesting, and I don't think they understand half of them. Yeah, they don't have the information about Ignite 2024 here anymore. Oh well. It is a different audience, absolutely. Hey there, web dev guy. Looking forward to watching, listening to those talks during the holiday break. Oh yeah. Pyrocat, hello, Fritz and friends. Good to see you, Pyrocat. Stillgarf, hello. Sad to hear, always like a bit of .NET OSS project gets the momentum. Look, it's hard to maintain open source projects. That's why there's things like the .NET Foundation and Linux Foundation to help folks. Land of the Elite, what do I think of? It says, what do I think of Python these days, specifically for jobs? I switched to it recently because there are more jobs than any other language near me, but it's a primary language for jobs, or is it one of those bonus languages they throw in a mix of others for requirements? I think it's in for a mix of others because there are so many college students and students coming out of high school that learn Python. The top business languages that folks use are C# and Java. You'll see some Visual Basic out there. But businesses, enterprises that are building C# and Java. Folks are doing Python because they want to do machine learning, they want to do artificial intelligence, and they want to be able to set up and configure models. That's why they're doing Python. It's more of an add-on from what I've seen. No, didn't wear the blazer to see Junie. No, I thought that might have been a little gauche, a little bit flamboyant, a little bit out there, a little bit too much. You're guessing Swagger will then be removed from the Visual Studio API templates as an option. It'll probably be rebranded to OpenAPI if I were to guess. I don't know. Microsoft Ignite AI Edition. Facts. If they mentioned AI in the title, you would have come, right? How you doing there, Dr. Cox? How to create with AI with more AI so that your AI can AI all the AI. Wasn't that the problem with Joshua in War Games? Isn't that the problem with the Matrix? These are science fiction things. Artificial intelligence that we have now. Artificial intelligence is a lie. Artificial intelligence is a name for all the things that computers can do that we don't have a name for yet. What Copilot does isn't AI. It's a large language model that does chat completion and text prediction. Analyzing images and pulling information out of that, that's OCR. Like, the things that we don't have a name for yet are just generically called AI. So, yeah, AI is kind of scary because we don't know what these things are yet. We haven't classified them. We haven't really put them together. The stuff that we do know how to do, that folks like OpenAI are doing, we have a great name for, and we have a nice box we can put around them doing text prediction types of things. So, yes, it is very expensive in San Francisco. That's part of it right there. And that's going to, not only is that going to turn off folks, but the tax implications of California are going to turn off folks as well. Hey, great, we want to do an event right there in the Bay. Okay. There's about a dozen reasons why I wouldn't do an enterprise tech conference in the Bay. That's me. I'm not the one with the budget who's deciding those, and they must have better reasons than the ones that I do. Help me help you. That's right, Pirate Cat. Help me to help you. So something that really came out of the presentation that I delivered with my buddy, my co-presenter, Luis Quint. I'm going to mispronounce his last name now. I see it all the time. I've got it literally plastered in front of me. Luis Quintanilla. The more and more that we look at prompt engineering, and we saw some of the prompts, if you go and watch the video from our session, the more and more we set up and we do prompt engineering, whether it's you're telling ChatGPT to do something, you're telling Copilot to do something, whether it's GitHub Copilot, it's Copilot Online, it's Windows Copilot, it's the Copilot, the Azure Copilot, the Security Copilot, the Excel Copilot, the Word Copilot. I don't care which one you're using. You have to talk to it like a 7-year-old. And it's my belief that for this reason, parents are going to be amazing prompt engineers. This is where, and this really hit me on Sunday. Have you noticed how much the tech industry doesn't like families and parents in general? Folks needing to take time to take care of the kids or something, take a day off because the kids are sick, isn't received well by many tech companies. Other folks in the tech industry who aren't married, don't have kids. Quite frankly, these folks get jealous and hateful towards parents. I had a former coworker who quite literally came right out and said, I hate parents, in a very mixed forum, and got no slapback for that. None. But it's my belief that parents are going to be the amazing prompt engineers of this generation of AI developers. Because when you write a prompt, when you set up ChatGPT, you need to talk to it like a 7-year-old. I want you to go upstairs to your room. I want you to pick up the clothes off the floor, put them in the hamper, wipe down the surfaces with a towel from the bathroom, put that in the hamper as well, bring the whole thing downstairs, put it in the laundry, add a Tide Pod, and turn it on to wash. Make sure you come back in a half an hour because you're going to put it in the dryer. These are the things that we have to do every day as a parent, and we know how to do. And when you have to tell AI that descriptively, in that same way, parents are the ones who are going to slay as prompt engineers. Book it. Ignite completely ran by AI in 2026. No, not happening. The 20th good KineMaster and CSX 2024. Hi. How you doing there on YouTube? Welcome. Can we just rebrand to Skynet now? No. Did I already announce what we're working on today? We're going to take a look at some things with SharpSight. We're going to catch back up in there. I also want to talk about the Blazor puzzle from last week. You'd like to get into data science, possibly web, so Python seems like a good choice. Python on the web is not a good choice. Python on the web is nice for building some things. I don't think Python on the web is a very good choice. The lack of high performance is making me consider another language on the side like Rust or Go. What's high performance? What do you mean by high performance? Because here's the thing. C# is faster than both of those when you compile it with AOT turned on. C# is as fast as C++ when you compile it with AOT turned on. Rust and Go don't have native web servers. You're building microservices in Python Enterprise and it irks you? I can believe that. There are certain tools and techniques and technologies that folks choose to use in the enterprise because it gives you guardrails around what you're doing. And when you use a dynamic language and interpreted language, that means that anybody can touch the code that's running in production, that's sitting on disk, change it. And in Python, change a space to a tab character, and you won't know that your application is broken until the first customer requests it. You can't make that kind of change and break something in a statically typed language, C# and Java, compiled technologies that you can't just reach out and touch a block of code that's running in production and break something like that. It provides various levels of security inherent to the way that the programming language is built, compiled, and distributed that prevent that type of accidental or maybe intentional change that is uncontrolled. So, learning Python isn't a bad thing. Learning a second or third language isn't a bad thing. I struggle with the folks who literally collect programming languages like Pokemon. That's great that you know HTML and JavaScript and TypeScript and CoffeeScript and C# and VB and F# and Java and Haskell and Go and Rust and Zig and Bun and C++ and C and Swift and Objective-C. What are you doing with all of that? Are you a professor at a college? What are you doing with all that? Because you're not using all that together. Let me see here. Ollama is great. I've heard good things about Ollama. I haven't used it myself. GPT seems more powerful, but you like Ollama can be localized? Yes. Books? What books? I don't have books. Nope, that's fine. From Dr. Cox. Turn it on. What knob do I have to turn? Yeah. It's like training a kid who eventually becomes an expert when you teach it. Yes. Forgot to take the clothes out of the hamper. The hamper is now in the wash. You're right, Blazer, Mr. Merco. You're right. Oh my gosh, look at that. Mom's here. Do you see that? Where'd it go? Remember telling little Jeff to clean his room like that? Exactly. And that's why, especially teachers, right? Mom was a teacher, taught middle school, 5th grade through 8th grade here in the States for not a long time because she's a young lady out there. And yes, being able to instruct and configure an AI is something that, gosh, elementary to middle school teachers are going to be really good at too. Yeah. Great to see you, Mom. Codebase Alpha, hello, good to see you. Am I continuing on the WordPress alternative? Yes, that's one of the goals there. Compiled code, absolutely. Land of the Elite says, love C# but .NET is too overwhelming for me. Tell me more. Limited on time, it would take me years to learn what most people recommend on a .NET roadmap. I don't know if you've noticed. I haven't mentioned .NET in any of the titles of my streams since August. .NET is a very big topic. However, there is no comparison to .NET. There is no equivalent to the scope and reach and the awesome set of frameworks, libraries, and tools that allow you to quite literally do everything with .NET. It's a really great collection of things, and the best part about it is you don't need to learn all of it. I'm an expert in ASP.NET, the web frameworks. I specialize right now in Blazor and a little bit with .NET Aspire, but .NET Aspire is something on the side as well. You don't need to learn all of it. I'm not an expert in WPF. I know enough about WPF to build a simple application. I used to be an expert in Windows Forms. I know enough to build Windows Forms applications and deploy those. I know how to build console applications because a console application is kind of the basis for an ASP.NET application. You don't need to learn all of it. That's the secret, Land of the Elite. You don't need to learn all of it. Learn just the pieces that you need to do your job. And if you want to explore and get a little bit outside of that, go for it. But you don't need to learn all of it. Learning C# and how to work with whatever framework it is for whatever project you want to work on, whatever deliverable you want to make, go for it. You think history has taught me that strongly typed languages are the best way? Just don't have strong reason to say I need full dynamic typelessness. Yes, the guardrails help. Because here's the thing. As smart as we are as humans, the computer can enforce the rules. So look at that, wishing happy Thanksgiving to Mom. Thank you, Napalm. That's very kind. No, I don't. I'm sorry, I don't have a list of recommended books. No, because, quite frankly, the technology moves too fast. Be a T-shaped developer. The sides of the T are get enough awareness that things are there to be used. Ooh, I like that, surly dev. But not deep enough that you know it all. I kind of agree. Get some depth on one topic, one project type, one whatever it is that you're primarily doing right now, and get a little bit of breadth reaching out into some of the side things next to it that augment. Yeah, right? That's pretty good. So as a .NET web developer, I've got breadth into JavaScript and TypeScript. I don't use them all the time because I don't need to. So that's not bad. That's pretty good. I like that. I need to reset the emotes on channel. I should probably do that so that we get ready for right, we're going to put this into that follower slot. There we go. So that we can get ready for Christmas here. So I'm going to remove the heart emote. We're going to change over the heart emote right now. Put that right back into the follower slot. There we go. Let's see, I've got a couple more here to swap out. Let's swap out the shades real quick. Where are they? It's here somewhere. The existing shades. I don't see it. It's like it's not uploaded. What? Yeah, there it is. And that goes into tier 1. We're gonna remove. Yeah, we're gonna remove the cat and the Clippy. Nobody uses the zombie. Octocat. And yep, zombie Clippy, which is fun, but I think it's kind of weird. Yep, we'll remove the Hypebot and we'll remove Skippy and get those replaced with the updates to go back to normal. And however, Skippy, we do have the Christmas one. For the darn Skippy there, that's in. I need to put the hats back in because I have a Christmas hats version of hats. There we go. You know what? I'm going to push the Gunner one of those out. And where's the gift? I'm going to move gift to a follower emote for right now. How's that sound? Because we're going into, nope, that's not it. No, I want it in follower. There we go. And the Gunner glasses, I'm going to put back into tier 1. Move them around a little bit. Fantastic. There we go. Emotes are set up, I believe, for Christmas. It's your favorite screwdriver. Everyone has the one they reach for, but you'll use others when needed. Totally. You're the kind of person where you can't just learn the minimum. Okay. When you started learning C#, I found there was a lot to dive into. Decimal type alone led you down a few weeks on base 10. Wow. Okay. Big integer and how that worked. Very cool. Okay. There's wait till you get to Entity Framework Core. Not long before I received the visor glasses, did I buy any more hats? I didn't buy any hats while I was in Chicago, and nobody was giving out hats. So that didn't happen. I'm not sure how many hats we're going to get. So I leave at lunchtime today for New York City. Let's recap Jeff's travel to this point. 2 weeks ago, I was at Penn State for, it was, come on now, bring up the calendar. It was, I left November 8th for Penn State, State College, Pennsylvania. I was there till the 10th for the whiteout game, we call it. It was a home football game, American football, against University of Washington. I left the football game and State College area on the 10th. Took a plane out to Redmond. I was in Redmond right through until the evening of the 14th for .NET Conf. Came home, and on the afternoon of the 15th, we drove to West Virginia for the West Virginia University game against Baylor. Was there until the 17th, came home Sunday the 17th, home Monday the 18th, and flew out the afternoon Monday the 18th to Chicago, and was in Chicago until Friday morning the 22nd. Flew home to Philadelphia Sunday the 23rd, drove to West Virginia, was in West Virginia for the West Virginia UCF American football game until Sunday. Came home Sunday, realized my daughter left her band uniform in the back of the car when we moved her out and into a friend's apartment because the dorms are closed for the break. When we moved her out, she left her band uniform in the back of the car. So yesterday, I got to drive 5 hours back to West Virginia, drop off the uniform, drive back 5 hours. And that brings us to today. And today, we get on the train to go to New York City. We come back from New York City on Friday. Saturday, head to State College for the final football game of the season. Come back on Sunday, and Jeff's travel is done for a long time. The visor glasses are expected to be delivered in January. High Tech Redneck, good morning to you. Hello. It is Monday. No, it's Tuesday. It's Tuesday. Yeah. Am I still going to design my Nightmare on Elm Street hat? Yes. Our friend Fierce Kittens has some interest in doing that. Oh yes. I should create a store where we can purchase hats, mugs, etc. I have a Design by Humans store. I can probably do something there. So I forget which night it is. I think it's the second Wednesday in December. I'm at Philly.net speaking. Now that's a local visit. No big deal there. February, I will be in Stockholm, in Sweden, for Svitug. If you're in and if you're in Europe and you wanna take the train over to Stockholm, I would love to see you at Svitug in Stockholm. I'll be hanging out there. I'd love to meet, shake hands with everybody, talk tech, go out and have a fine adult beverage, have a non-adult beverage. That's okay too. But hang out for an evening. We can definitely put something together and have a good time in Stockholm for Svitug. It's the first week in February. Tell your friends, tell your families, tell your boss. You want to get some tickets to go visit us at Svitug. There's a ton of great sessions there that you're going to want to check out. Your English is so bad when I said I went to Penn State. Oh my gosh. No. No. Sorry, still Garth. Thank you, Johan. 70 months.
Jahab just resubscribed for 70 months.
Thank you. Penn State is the name of the university. That it's a short nickname that we use to refer to the Pennsylvania State University. So the state I live in is Pennsylvania, and it's the big university, biggest university in this state, and so we just shorten it to Penn State because Pennsylvania State's kind of long to pronounce. And if there's one thing that Americans do, it's we shorten everything. So that's why we don't call it Philadelphia. It's just Philly. So, yeah, parenting. Hey, McNets, you were quite good with COBOL and NCR mini frames. Can I suggest any work? Oh, I got folks asking those types of questions at the booth last week. Prison, Penn State, Tomato. That's right. How you doing there, bald-bearded builder? Good to see you here. Do I listen to anything interesting on my 10-hour drive? So I can share now. No, not next week, February. I can share now that, and here, bald-bearded builder is going to say something here about this. I am buying an RV, a recreational vehicle. And with the amount of travel and visiting to the universities and how we enjoy camping out, we're going to do some tow behind camping and riding around and having a good time. I suppose I can show you what it is that we're getting. We're getting one that we can tow with our SUV. There it is. So, I guess that's all right, right? I mean, you're going to be able to look this up and see the price, so I don't mind showing the price that's listed here, because if you mention it, like, there it is. Yeah, it's definitely cold. It snowed the last time that I was in Stockholm. Can I just make this larger? Can we make that bigger? No, I want to make it bigger. And get rid of that. All right, here, we'll go over and we can show this. An RV to tailgate, maybe. Gonna put a Starlink on it, maybe. Digital Drummer J, you're onto something. So this is a 28-foot. How big is 28 feet? When we convert that to metric, right. So that's about 8.5 meters long. It's got 2 doors on it. Here's the floor plan. So when you walk in the back door here, there's a little, wait, that's not it. No, that's the RL. That's the wrong one. Hang on. No. For sale, no. But whatever. That's it. But that's, hang on. That's the right one, and it doesn't have the description on it. Hang on. Yeah, there we go. So that's the floor plan that I was looking for. So there's a big kitchen when you walk in the back door. So it's the full back of the RV with a nice window going out the back. Stovetop oven over here with a microwave up top, overhead storage, fridge over here, nice big couch, a little dinette, a little booth dinette like you might have at a restaurant. Pantry over here. Restroom in the middle with 2 barn doors here that slide closed, and then a queen-size bed in the back with 2 nightstands next to it. Steps coming in over here so that you can close off the bathroom. So if somebody's in the bathroom on this side and somebody's in the bedroom over here, you can go out and come in the other side. And similarly, if somebody's in the bathroom here, you can go around and get into the bedroom if you need to. So, go to the actual, like, pictures of the inside. So there's one slide on it. There's some pictures from the inside. So nice big couch. So my thinking at some point is be able to set up and stream from this little dinette, or from outside, hook up and do all the stuff with this. But definitely tailgating. Oh yes. Nope. No Confederate flags. Crocs. I don't like Crocs. It's not my bag. You just winterized your 27-foot RV last night. GS Vault. So we're getting a big discount on this because it is winterized already, and they don't want to store it and have to pay for the interest on the bank loan to hold it. So we're getting a big discount, and we're just going to leave it in storage until about March, and then we'll take it out and start camping. You're getting snow in Michigan, won't stick? Yeah. So, there you go. You can see how wide the kitchen is with a window back there and the window shades drawn. All the microwaves are small, but really what you want to be doing is grilling outside. 40-inch TV over here. So another bit of my thinking here is there a picture of the TV area? So there's the kitchen. Fridge is a great size. There's the TV. So there's the TV, and it's a no-name TV over here. But here's what I'm thinking, chat. You know I love my Raspberry Pis. Eddie was even mentioning it. I want to put a Raspberry Pi behind this and screw it into the ceiling of the cabinet and hook it up as a second HDMI feed and set up the Raspberry Pi with some sort of TV interface so that I can run and plug an external terabyte hard drive, USB terabyte hard drive, screw that into the ceiling as well, and basically have a local Plex server with photos and all kinds of other software running, family calendar and whatnot, all running and being able to be displayed on this TV. My other thought was, see, there's cabinets next to it. I think you could see the cabinets a little bit better on one of those other views. Here, there you go. My other thought was mount a touch screen on one of these that has the family calendar and some other things over here so that you can play music from a collection of music and whatnot on a touch screen here on the speakers and stuff that are inside the RV, and do some IoT home automation stuff with the screen over here, and also be able to drive Plex and movies and all kinds of stuff on the TV. So it's about the same size as a caravan on your summer spot. There you go, Johan. Okay. And my thinking is I want to be able to tow it with an SUV. Itram asks, as a game dev perspective, is it controversial to say 99% of singletons could be replaced with the static class? It's not controversial. There are folks who believe in various design patterns. And that design pattern of using singletons versus static classes is absolutely they're two different design patterns. Folks don't like static classes because the state of that class is something unknown to you. The singleton is very much in the same way. That same singleton that's delivered, the state of that is unknown to you. You just kind of expect it to be in the right state. Static classes are notoriously difficult to unit test. A singleton is a concrete instance of a class that has been configured so there's only ever one of them. But because it's a concrete instance, you can create it and unit test it a bit easier. It's just two different design patterns. You get testing advantages by configuring a singleton. You like that extending bit, the slide? I do too. The couch, it's all the couch on the slide. GS Vault with a link. Oh my, I like that one. There you go. So I wasn't looking at, welcome to RV Talk. I wasn't looking at something quite this big. Now, of course, mine's going to end up being bigger when you put the SUV on the front and you're towing 28 feet. I wasn't looking at driving something that big, because then the concern that I have is when you're driving something this big, when you get to wherever your destination is and you park it, now you don't have a vehicle to go anywhere unless you're towing a vehicle behind it. So by having a tow behind like this, all right, let me go back. By having a tow behind like this, I can get to a campground or a parking lot. I can drop it. And now I can drive around town and do whatever on just the SUV. So that's our thinking and what our family's decision was. There's certainly, while we're driving, we can't access things in the trailer. In this one, you can have a bunch of people wandering around, sleeping, laying in bed, accessing the fridge, working at the table. A lot more flexibility while you're on the road driving. So, different things for different families. GS Volt, how long have you had this one? Because that's got to be a lot of fun. That's a pretty close detection there, Fritzbot. And I got some feedback from our friend Luis that I'm going to be using to update the Fritzbot. I think it is fancy. Where's the streaming room located? So it's not really a streaming room, but it wasn't even me that said it, okay? So you can't blame this one on me. All right, kids? So the couch is over here, and that whole thing slides out. You can see the frame where it slides out there. But the booth over here, Mrs. C Sharp Fritz has already said, you can set up and stream from that booth, and we'll call it Code on the Road. Like, okay, there's a thing there. So, does the couch fold out into bed? This one does not. However, the all three sections of that couch do recline to almost laying down. So while it's not a bed, and laying horizontally across it is definitely bed size, bed length. The table goes down and this turns into a bed. The dinette turns into a bed. There's definitely bed opportunities with the couch. You can definitely sleep there. And the bedroom is nice size queen bed with 2 nightstands on the sides, closets above, and there's outlets up here so you can charge your phones and whatnot. So, have I driven an RV before? I haven't. So, because we're towing, I haven't driven a tow vehicle and towed yet. Mrs. C Sharp Fritz has, because we tow our horses around. So, I hope so too there, Steve. So one thing that we discussed was there might be an opportunity to do some sort of a tour and drive around and set up a bunch of different user groups or a bunch of different customers and drive the RV around and go visit a bunch of user groups and customers over a few days, over 2 weeks, and see how that goes. Storage is a better idea. You need to clean the fall foliage does a number. That's one thing that sticks out to me, GS Volt, is cleaning the outside. You can have an RV map so that anyone in the back could see where I are, maybe looking up local landmarks and points of interest. That might be fun to set up. Yes. You like the touchscreen idea, PC Nerd? Thank you. One way, UNESCO with a link to the... So, yes. Totally agree. And this is the type of thing that makes perfect sense. A Raspberry Pi Touch display too. 7-inch touchscreen display. I have something like this already wired up to my Raspberry Pi 3 that I use for a lot of demos. So, yeah, I'm right there with you. To have this sitting there and 2 Raspberry Pis working together on a little in-RV network, yep, I think you're right. And just use 2-sided tape to stick it to the outside of the cabinet. Totally agree. Totally agree. I don't want to drill a hole through the cabinet, so maybe I'm getting a couple of longer connectors so that they run up and over, and maybe the Raspberry Pi's on the back of the cabinet door. I don't want to drill out the cabinet door, so there might be something good to do there. You don't think I should be in the RV while towing it? While towing it, correct. Correct. Some of the devices that are in there could be turned on. Something you thought about yourself for sure. So Do you like to fly, fish, and camping? Exactly. Our problem was with all the travel. You've heard me talking about all the travel I've been doing here this fall. Hotels are very expensive on weekends like that. So, RV Talk with C Sharp Fritz. Now you can code camp your way to success. Totally agree. Which page do you need me to link to, Johan? Can you give me some context? I'm sorry, I've been flipping back and forth and missed. It was 5 minutes ago when you posted that message. So, your motivation has windows all the way around, can grab a couple families to go together. Love it, GS Volt. Yes. And you spend a fortune. That's the trade-off. I don't have the capacity. I can only sleep 5 or 6 people. But anybody can drive up and pitch a tent nearby. You see people with the RV-style ones pulling flat Fiat 500s behind them. Exactly. Similarly, we see folks pulling Toyotas and Hondas behind them. So game devs rarely unit test. Yes, you're right, Atrium. You just noticed a huge hate against static classes. The current architecture du jour that folks really enjoy is dependency injection, and dependency injection can manage the state of that single object for you a little bit better. So chugging gas, that's the other thing. We're going to use a lot more gas when we're taking the RV. Getting propane, getting good batteries is a whole nother discussion. This one, I don't know if you can see it. Do they show? I don't think you can really see the top. But it's already got a 200-watt solar panel on the roof. You can get twin-size air mattress, level it with the couch. I'm with you, Land of the Elite. Yeah. You'd like to share your family? Sure, I can share the link to this one, sure. This is a brand new model that they just released for 2025. Does my RV have black tank? Yes. So this one, because let me go back to the layout. Where's the floor plan? And we're getting into RV talk here, so I'll make sure I describe a little bit. So because there's kitchen here, bathroom here, you typically have 3 tanks on an RV. You have a freshwater tank that has the water that comes out the sink, the sink over here, and you use to flush the toilet and you use in the shower. You have the gray water tank that has the stuff that came off the drain in the sink and the shower. Then you have the black water tank, and that's the water, the the other stuff that was captured from the toilet. You want to avoid dealing with the black water tank. You want to keep that one as clean as possible because it's going to make your RV smell. However, so you typically have 3 tanks. This one has 4 tanks because there's a gray water tank for the kitchen. There's a gray water, black water tank for the bathroom, and then a freshwater tank that's shared between them. So there's 4 tanks on this. It's a little bit extra weight, but it gives the flexibility of those. Typically, your gray water tank, the water that comes off the sink, that's captured from the sink in the shower, it's typically soapy, right? Because folks are washing dishes, washing themselves, washing their hands, washing their face. So it's typically a soapy consistency of water, and there's a reason the black tank is called the black tank. We don't need to go there. State College going to be a blast on game day? I think you're right, Napalm. Yeah. And my older daughter is graduating. Yes. It is a trailer. It's not. This is called a travel trailer, but it's still in the class of recreational vehicle. Your dad would not allow anyone to make a deposit. Facts. And we're leaning that way also, unless you need to and we're off the grid. If we're in a campground where there is facilities, go use that. But if we're off the grid, I'm not going off the grid all the time, but on the weekends when I'm going and traveling to college campuses for football games and whatnot, yeah. PyroCat, I've heard other folks call it that as well, the brown tank. But it's the black tank because you don't want to touch it. You don't want to touch it. So there you go. Welcome to RV Talk. I am your host, Jeff Fritz, and that is the Alliance Delta 234 Come visit you in Wyoming. That sounds like fun. Yeah. Like, there's trips to some national parks that Mrs. C Sharp, Fritz, and I are like, we got to do this. And Mount Rushmore is on that list, and if we're going to be out that way, out that far west from Pennsylvania, Wyoming's not too much further out. You used the link and bought the fully loaded Digma Defy Build-A-Builder. Thank you. That's very kind. Appreciate that. Yes. So the Digma Defy, that's the keyboard that I've been using here. Much appreciate. Is it? Are you still waiting for it to be delivered? Has it arrived yet? Let us know, because oh man, I do enjoy my Digma. So I brought the Digma Defy to both .NET Conf and to Ignite. I didn't show it to anybody at Ignite, but I did show it at .NET Conf, and some of the .NET team were quite interested. Let me go jump over to the SharpSite repository here. So some of the work on SharpSite has inspired this week's Blazor puzzle. You get it Monday? Oh, all right. Yeah, let me know how it goes. Let me know how it goes. Mount Rushmore's like 4 hours from there. Then you get to see Crazy Horse. Crazy Horse has been taking a little bit of time to develop there. You watch a vlogger that lives in a van. They use either the bag or bury method. So I've been camping in a tent a bit in this fall, and we use the bag. I don't want to use the bag anymore. Yeah. What do you got there for integrating a 10-inch or larger piece display? Oh, that's nice. Check out what McNets has found for us here. For industrial PCs powered by Raspberry Pi. Oh my. Okay. I could see turning one of these vertical. I'd want to see the mounts behind them so that I know I'm getting into for replacing a cabinet door. Because I think there's things like a family schedule, a photo album, other little apps like that would be fun to go cycling by while we're just kind of relaxing and hanging out in the RV. There's blueprints in these. I choose you, Pikachu. What do we got? And here's what's behind it. All right, so there's... Why do you have an RF adapter pin out on that? Okay, oh, wait a sec. I see what you're saying. This is the whole shebang. There's a Raspberry Pi in this. And you're wiring up the HDMI. Okay. Okay, I get it. It's the whole thing. Well, how much drive space is in this thing? 1024 by 600, that's fine. HDMI, yes. Was that HDMI on the side? HDMI, the micro HDMI is what's there. It's an adapter cable. Okay, but how much drive space? Or is it just slip in a SIM card? TF? Is that supposed to be my SD card? No, what's that? Those look like vents. Camera, yes, not mounted by default, available on the board in the embedded PC. Okay. Let's choose another one that's a little bit cheaper. What do we got here? You. Yep, okay. All right, so this one isn't completely closed. I did like the completely closed. the completely enclosed devices feel, for what I'm trying to accomplish, it's less work for me to work on. Yeah, there's the micro HDMI connector. Audio hookup, LAN, USB. So this wouldn't be good for mounting on the wall because the USB is on the back. Yeah. Okay. Very cool. Is this the same one I was looking at earlier? Might be. Yeah, I think it is. So there's definitely options here that I can work on. No bagging for me. Darn straight no bagging for me. I don't want to do that. Yeah, see, it's got a bit of girth to it that I don't want to have protruding out from the door. I do like that it's got a antenna there. Yeah, that's underneath the case to hook up everything. All right. Very cool. I'm going to hang on to this. Thank you. Definitely more to explore there and figure out. No. No. Let me see here. Defy was one, if not the most beneficial investments. Probably the best Ergo keyboard. I agree. I didn't even turn on the keyboard cam. There it is. Hello. There's my keyboard. You got it, Pirate Cat. All right. I do not think that means what I think it means. Shifting topics, it's my belief that something that we don't cover enough of in the .NET documentation is globalization and localization, because we as Americans don't do that. We kind of expect that most folks using our applications, using our websites, are American, reading English. We don't need no Spanish or French. Heck, those people in Montreal, they can speak English, they can read English, just use my website in English and everybody be good. Right? There's a little bit of that regional bias to many Americans that build websites, applications, and documentation. It's my belief that we should do a little bit better job with some of that. And you, chat room, taught me a little bit about that. You helped me out with that in the localization that we started to do on SharpSite. We've done it before, a little bit of localization for ClipTalk. And I learned a lot through those processes. So I started writing the next Blazor puzzles. Blazor puzzles? You know the Blazor puzzle, right? It's that podcast that I do with Carl Franklin, where we talk about Blazor. There you go. We have a new puzzle each week, and you can win prizes by solving the puzzle. This one, from the 8th, it stumped some folks. That we got a lot of wrong answers for this puzzle. Each one of these episodes is about 10 minutes long. Okay? The last one is a puzzle about localizing some code. And the GitHub repo here has the code available. But for some reason, the culture gets detected, but the localization doesn't take effect. Your challenge to solve this puzzle is watch the video, listen to my description of it, and identify what's broken. Why doesn't it localize? I was just trying to get the US English version to start swapping in some text before I go dropping in some translations for other languages, French, Spanish, Portuguese, and so forth. Why doesn't this work? Take a look. It's based on something that I learned while writing SharpSite on this channel. There's going to be a couple more localization puzzles as well. Is it an HTML header issue? Take a look. So, Atrum with a question here. It's so interesting seeing the difference of software dev versus game dev. In game dev, localization is incredibly important, and most companies do it. Right, there's two parts to the localization in game development, in any software development. And it's important in game dev to do it because, right, you want to be able to sell your game to the widest audience possible. In software development, I can slow roll that out, right? I can take my time and slowly let it go into different regions and kind of work with it that way. But in game development, I want to sell as widely as possible. Not only that, but by putting all of the text into localizable resources, being able to swap that out, not just for another language, but to be able to change the story a little bit, to modify the way that characters talk, the names of characters, because right, a character's name is not something or doesn't fit under copyright, or not something that should be used, or there's something more common in a different language. Being able to change that quickly because it's just a block of text, it's nice to be able to do. So yeah. Don't I have a package? I need to get to the post office. I haven't been able to get there. I might be able to get there this morning. But I do have to get to the post office. Yes. And yesterday I was supposed to go to the post office, but unfortunately, I was in West Virginia yesterday. I had to drive back out there. I do. It's waiting for me, my friend. And I promise I will. Can I open it? Can I open that on stream? Is that something that will be legit to open on stream? I should open it on stream. All right. So I will make that happen. I was quite busy yesterday. How you doing there? That's our friend Ellie Face. Good to see you. Hello. I can fix that. Hey Robert, well thank you. I'm back for a day, and then next week I'm planning a marathon stream next week. I need to get the specifics nailed down, but I'm planning a marathon stream next week, okay? I don't seem to be in a category at the moment. What? I'm not in a category. How am I not in the category? How am I not in a category? Software and game development. There it is. There we go. Thanks, Gemini. I don't know. Do I feel comfortable with my keyboard, or am I not there? I feel pretty comfortable, Digital Dummy. You feel like we're heading towards an era where AI will sit between the client and server, which handles translations? I don't think we're quite there yet. Define marathon? 12 to 18 hours. So I want to go 12 to 18 hours, and it will probably be next week. So, and I'm going to do coding. I'm going to play some games. I want to bring on some guests. We've got a bunch that I want to do on a really long content-filled stream. Yeah. And long streams like that means that there'll probably be an eating segment, a couple breaks in there. So we'll see how it goes. Yeah. I want to go through and do a lot for SharpSight here. I want to go through and spend some time with TagsApp, do some more of the updates to that, so it's in .NET 9 and .NET Aspire 9, and I want to deploy. We need to finish updating Aspirify.net to .NET 9, Aspire 9, and the deployment scripts, and get that out. We've got to do the Hot Wings challenge as well. Yes, indeed. We might do that for lunch. Yeah. That is well overdue that we got to do that. Oh, yes. So, is Ellieface still here? If she knows that I'm doing some sort of a food-based segment on the stream, it's going to be trouble. So, no, I'm not going to get into it. I shouldn't do that. Oh, yeah. Right? So, even though I've called it the Hot Wings Challenge, I go to Buffalo Wild Wings and I get a bunch of their sauces, and that's what we use. Me and spicy. Oh, yeah. I'm quite okay with spicy. Yeah. We've done a bunch to this application, and we've got a bunch of ideas so that we can allow you to build and manage a website. Some of that Reaper Evil hot sauce. Oh. I do have the mule sauce from Sticker Mule. The spicy peeps weren't that bad. We need to do something about that for next time. And I think I want to do for the next St. Jude fundraiser, I think I want to do more control, give you more control of the stream with more interactivity. Lots more interactivity. It's also been requested that I help out with a MDA fundraiser here in December. Maybe we do something with that as well. Lots of ideas. Let's talk about SharpSite here for a bit and dig into this. This is an application that we've been building so that you can build a website. Right now we're starting with basic blog capabilities and ability to define pages, but build it easily in the sense that you don't need to be technologically advanced, technologically skilled to define and build a website. Buc-ee's sells a Taco Reaper hot sauce. There is no Buc-ee's in Pennsylvania. We have something much, much more civilized than Buc-ee's. Can I tell you that? We do. We have something much, much more civilized than Buc-ee's. We have Wawa. Right? Come on now. Wawa's a thing. I'll eventually have to have a pit stop at a Buc-ee's. Yeah, that's going to be a thing at some point. We built a lot on SharpSite. I'm not on the Linux machine today because, quite frankly, I've been traveling and taking it everywhere, and I haven't hooked it back up. It's in my bag to go to New York City. Yeah, Wawa is pretty good. Let me head over here to my dev drive. Look at all those Blazor puzzles out there. So let's start over here. Let's do a git pull so we're back up to date with all the things. Thank you. And what branches do I have locally? Yeah, we can get rid of editor config. Branch. Sure. Editor config. Goodbye. Cool. So right now it doesn't do very much, but we have a handful of tasks that we've started lining up here for what we want to do in the next couple milestones. And I think we started on a couple of these. The next milestone that we started identifying was introducing security. And let's look at some that don't have a milestone assigned yet. Figure out what we want to do. Sure, let's put that on the next one. Actually, no, that's an admin thing. That should probably go out here. Which languages should be supported? That should be in admin customization. Initial contributors list, that's okay. That one shouldn't be. Markdown editor should be swappable. That's much further out. Package caching, that's a deployment thing. That's a deployment thing. So let's mark those for deployment capabilities. There we go. Ads start in about 4 minutes here. Oh yeah, Wawa with the Flying Goose. That's right, Lorsair. I also brought Bam Margera and CKY. Oh yes. Oh yes. PC Nerd had their first Buc-ee's experience last month. It was blown away. Food is great. Take a look. Take a look at Wawa when you get there. You like my terminal config? It is on my GitHub. If you go to my GitHub, check out the .files. And this is the Windows terminal config. And you can get, there's a font that goes with that. Cascadia Cove Nerd Font is what it's called. And there's a link to that. And you can download my configuration so you can load that up. Are there any docs on how to set up machine to run the app? So this was a question. This is a bug that we need to fix right now. So here's the thing. You shouldn't have to configure your machine to run this application, okay? So you should be able to run it. I'm even going to run it with Visual Studio Code here locally. All right, I'm just going to open Visual Studio Code because we like Visual Studio Code. Wawa has pretty good cold brew, iced coffee beverages. Facts. Facts. I'm going to... Let's do a little .NET 9... .NET Aspire 9 update here. I'm just going to go through here and remove the release candidate versions of things because I can, and just knock this back because so this uses centralized package management. I have directory packages, props, so all these package versions are centralized here, and I'm just going to bump all of these to 9.0. And, yeah, delete that. I don't know if there's a newer version of that. And I'm going to take a look in app host. Reference. Good, here we go. And we're going to yank that. Take a look in service defaults. We're good. Go over here to the website, to this. Let's check versions of things in here. I think we can take that to 9.0. And let's do a .NET restore on this, John. See what we got. Denied. Microsoft extension caching memory. It's being downgraded. That's in SharpSite Web. So caching memory. Here. This should go to 9. I'm willing to bet that the localization has a 9 version. QuickGrid, I bet, has a 9 version as well. Resilience here, I bet there's a 9 version. Same thing on service discovery. System text JSON should, without a doubt, go to 9. And let's try this one more time. Wawa is pretty good. So the other day you learned that VS Code highlights region tags at the scroll bar. Yet another reason why regions are great. I think so too. There we go. Restore worked. So let's go into SharpSite, app host, and I should be able to just .NET run right here and start up and it launch everything up in. Hey, Red Bunny, welcome. So this should restore, compile, reference, include everything, and start up. Should. You need Docker running. It'll tell you if Docker isn't running. Application host directory, looking good. You're going to see where there's a mistake in here in just a minute. Come on now. Now I've got too many. No, I'm good. What's that? Guacamole.
Guacamole just resubscribed for 45 months. Good morning.
45 months. Thank you so much. And I'll make another donation to the Raspberry Pi Foundation. So that migrated everything. There's my Postgres admin. So I should be able to peek in here, and it should have created the database appropriately for me. Going back to, you don't need to build or define anything specific for your application. It says unhealthy. Why is it unhealthy? Looks like it's running. And it loaded the server. There it goes. And yes. Here we go. Databases, Sharp site. Come on now. And schemas, public tables. There we go. It's got my 3 tables: pages, posts, and migration history. So we've got content to start with, and I just closed that. There we go. So now if I go over to the website, it should open. And it doesn't. So we've got a version here. Version issue. Version 804 of NPG SQL Entity Framework Core. Okay. This is good. Ooh. So this is inside my PG context. Okay. So we're going to need to... Right, so I have Postgres over here. All my Postgres stuff I put in here, and... it's including that version. All right. So... Oh my goodness. Jaron Von Wissen, welcome. Hello. Welcome with the raid. Much appreciate. Toot indeed. Thank you. Welcome in, Raiders. How you doing there? My name is Jeff Fritz. I'm a live coder who's writing code live. We're building a little bit with C#. We're building a website, and we're using .NET Aspire to orchestrate and run that. How you doing there, Jerome? What were you doing over there on your channel? Let us know. We'll drop a shout out in chat for you. There you go. Thank you so much. I got to restart. I should really do this with a .NET Watch so it restarts for me. And I've seen people complaining, oh, .NET Watch doesn't work properly. It's worked fine for me in .NET 9. So, here it goes, restarting. And everything looks like it's running. Do we have the right version now? There we go. So we've got content, but my CSS looks awful. What happened to my CSS? Doing a little co-working session? Nice. Nice humans listening to good music. I feel the same way. Thanks so much for bringing your friends here to join us. So, yeah, something broke here. Style sheet app CSS was not loaded because its MIME type text HTML is not. What happened to my styles? Like app CSS, where is it? Page not found. Ah. And this one, SharpSite Web Style CSS. Page not found. I know what this is. So we got a break in here we got to fix. Azure Front Door is difficult to configure. I know what's going on with this. What is it? It's like Alt-Shift. No. Right? There we go. So Windows Terminal, of course, we can split vertically here. So what's going on with this, we set something up in our routing for SharpSight. That's not it. Close all the things up here. Let's go into Program. So we set up there's that. Here it is. This should be a slug, but it's also, it should not be a file. So we need to handle that it should also not be a file here, right? And this is a constraint we can add to the routing of this. So let's jump over here. Let's ask Copilot about it, shall we? Actually, can't we do that in here? Where is it? 21 require a restart. Really? Really? Come here. I want to move you to the other side. Can I move you to the other side? I'm not allowed to move you to the other side. Top, bottom, hidden. Left. So I have to have... You make me sad. Like... How do I add a route constraint that ensures a file on disk isn't selected? Yeah. No, that's not it. That's interesting. I hadn't done that before. Defining your own file constraint there and saying file doesn't exist. No, that's... You're going to make me look this up, aren't you? ASP.NET Core route constraint. And there's a command you can put there. Azure Front Door used to be intuitive. I had a long conversation with our friend Scott Hanselman 2 weeks ago about configuring Azure Front Door. Scott's got a very complex setup for his blog and some of the resources that he has there, and he routes them all through Azure Front Door. The way Azure Front Door used to run had a nice graphical thing that made it very clear, here are the various pieces that you're gluing together. Scott! Him. And we're both kind of struggling with the updates that they've placed there, where it's great for somebody who's an expert in network engineering. But for the folks who are part-time doing that and slinging code to get that to work together, it's not as intuitive. It's like no file or something. Here we go. Here's the constraints. Route constraints. We've done this somewhere before. No. You feel like Azure tried to make networking easier, but also seems like they... So, there is a segment of the Azure product teams that view their audience, their customer, as folks that are highly specialized, highly trained in the technology in the space that they're building to target. It's my belief that Microsoft Azure is a general purpose public cloud system that should optimize for breadth, so that as many folks as possible can effectively use the solution, so that you have features both for the highly advanced users and for the novice folks who are just weekend warriors and wants to get a hobby project doing something cool. Some folks in building their Azure products have optimized for the advanced users. Some folks have optimized for the weekend warriors like you and me. I thought there was a no file. No. Yeah, or like a file name. Where? No. It's for work. Yeah. We're good. Round constraint, not an existing file. We did this somewhere else. We do this in Aspirify. It was actually building that constraint, not a file constraint, and registering it. We do code in C# here. That's right, Coolio. How you doing? Welcome. Appreciate you using the pronouns plugin there. Napalm comes from AWS, where networking is very explicit. Yeah. Wow, that was not something that I was expecting. Yeah. And now all of my settings that I had, thanks, go away. All of my settings that I had from the presentation at Microsoft Ignite just kicked in. Yeah, there we go. Where did it go? No, I put it on. I didn't do it in Aspirify. I put it on a fixed. I put it on a fixed name. We did this in something Blazor. It was in a Blazor puzzle. Not a static file. What the heck? Yeah. This is with the new static assets capabilities. And Haven't rolled that out yet. And in fact, a lot of the things that the new static assets does, I've already got hard coded. The new CML based CS Proj format. CS Proj isn't changing, solution file is changing. So the static file should hit first.
Developers.
Hey, Coolio, thank you for the follow. Welcome. You didn't expect Balmer would be welcoming you there, did you? Yeah, it should hit the static file first, find it, and return it. Before those endpoints. There was a way to do this. Map fallback to file. Nah, that's in the Blazor capabilities. Route. Something like this. We did this in a Blazor puzzle. And there's a Blazor application that we've done this in. I remember Carl showing me this. It might be this one. Yeah, there it is. Yeah. And I forget the solution. So the solution's going to be in episode 31. Like, look at this. Look at me. I'm going to the podcast to find the solution. There you go. 31. Right, so there's an argument, and for some reason, we lose the style. Hey, there's that guy. And the answer is non-file. So if I go back to... I got this. Right, I should be able to go like that, right? File changed, so that should restart. And where is it? There we go. Haha, fixed it. And you see the various languages that we have available. Now, there's one other thing that's kind of broken in here. We need to go into the locales. You know what? Let's break this up into two fixes. Yeah. So let's do this first. Over here, I'm going to do a git checkout -b sure net 9. That's not net 9. Git checkout -b sure net 9. There we go. Let's add these couple changes. Updated to .NET 9 RTM. All right. So we'll do this first. Yes, and you're happy now. Good. Sure, you can leave that. So back over here, let's set up a pull request. Put in the .NET 9 update. Thank you. Create that. It should build really quick. Time to update the docs, or why was that not listed? What do you mean? What do you mean? No conflicts with the base branch. Good. Let it build. It is on the RC in global JSON, so we got to update that thing too. Let's get rid of that. 1 second. Let's make it .NET 9 100. I don't have the 9.0.100 version here. Let's make sure I have that. The RTM of .NET 9, I don't have it installed. Build, test, deploy. Yes, give me one of those. .NET 9 for x64. Yes, do it. You found the non-file constraint in the doc. It's listed only in the Blazor routing doc, so maybe specific to Blazor. That makes sense. Almost done. Could be, should be. Few seconds left. Defy reality with the Digma Defy keyboard. That's a thing. Yes, you can update. Go ahead.
Developers.
DigiPie TV, welcome. How you doing there? We are using Blazor to build this application framework, so yeah, makes sense that it's there for me, and I'm not coupled to the ASP.NET version. Setup failed. Fatal error. Is it because the application is running? It might be because the application is running. Try that again. Yep, go ahead, do it. We'll even close VS Code for you. Go. Let's go. Come on. Like, I'm pretty confident this is going to work. So confident that forced global JSON to .NET 9 RTM. That's getting somewhere. Come on now, fella. I think we can close all that. So we should get a new build here. Because it gets the global JSON now. And I want to see it downloading and using .NET 9 final. Yeah, there it is, 9.0.100. Attempting to download 90100, 90100, extracting archive, installed version, and away it goes. Now, the RC2 built and ran properly, so we should be good. Yep, post run, and there we go. Got it, and
boom goes the dynamite.
here we go. So, yep, upgrade to .NET 9 RTM. Squash and merge edge on. Thanks so much, Jeff. Glad you did it, Jeff. You're a real good guy there for us, Jeff. So let's check out main. No, I wanted to delete. Sure. Net 9. Notice the 90100 indicator is back. It finished the install. Git pull upstream main and git push. There we go. Now there's another issue in here that I want to address before I close out. Come on, finish going there, buddy. Let's go, buddy. Bob's my mother's brother. No. Is he? Come on now. There we go. No, I'm not restarting. I'm going to be a violator like this. No. There is one more bug that's in here. It's a little bit tricky to find. And I'm going to address this right now. Yep, .NET Watch is rerunning, hot reload, re-enable, launch settings, blah, 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 blah. Reopen VS Code. When you see this, it's going to be weird. I need Terrence and Phillips sound effects? No. I'm not your friend, buddy. I'm not your buddy, friend. That wasn't Terrence and Phillips. That was from Dude, Where's My Car? So there's the app running, and I'm going to jump into here. It is in the local configuration. Check this out. Set default culture to supported culture 0, which is Bulgarian. Shouldn't be Bulgarian. It should be American. Updated, hot reload succeeded, do file added. Now, it's supposed to... Last thing I'm going to do here, just to make sure that everything's in good shape. I'm going to drop into program. And when it added Postgres services here, with data volume, I'm just going to change this so I get a brand new database. It says hot reload succeeded, but I don't believe it. Yeah. You reload the whole John, because it's going to build a new database. Yeah, didn't I make it
Developers.
Oh, EN-US. Thank you. Tariq, welcome. Yeah, I got it slightly off there. You're right, red-headed jackal. Yup. Okay, so that should have forced a reload on that, but there we go. Really? Failed to execute database command? Really? Tell me more. The migration didn't run. Why? User transaction is not supported with a transaction suppressed. Oh no. Oh no. Or a retrying execution strategy. I need to turn that off. That's in... Alright, so now I see the issue there. Let's put the first commit in, and then we'll go fix. Yeah. Sharp site. Add that. Made EN US default localization. All right. Last thing, not in here. When it sets up the migrations inside the service, and it does that. How do I turn off the retry? .NET Aspire disable retry policy on entity framework. It's not spelling entity framework, but close enough. Max retry count. Disable health checks. Set it to 0. So that's in the configuration options. So let's go back over here. This is in the shared registration. So it's going to be something like in here. Right? So we have configure settings, and then we have configure context options. So what if it's this one? Not quite. Nope, it's not that one. So let's try passing this, and then that. And now this time. No. All right. These are configuration options hanging off of what? Settings disable metrics. So let's see what's in Postgres. So settings connection string. Disable retry. It's in settings and it's called disable retry. So if it is, can I just do that? Disable retry. And let's make that an optional parameter here. Bool disable retry equals false.
Developers.
And that should be the last bit of this that I need. Oh. Thank you for the follow. Zedo Nuts, welcome. How you doing there? Yeah, bool disable retry false. So that should now work. So now this is in the migration. So when I register, I can now say why can't I do that? No. I create it and then I call it. This goes down in here. Just to make it really clear that that's a thing. Yes, restart the app. Let's see what we get. I need to disable retry when I'm running migrations because the migrations are running within a specific context as they're building up and running. So they're say it failed again. Transaction was started before applying migrations. This prevents a database lock. Remove the external transaction.
And knowing is half the battle.
That's not the right hat. Okay, so what we're running into...
Oh my.
Transaction? That's the only place. So somewhere it's starting a transaction first? Connection, a transaction was started before applying migrations.
Developers.
Hey, Lupin, welcome. Stand by. Add open telemetry and run. So we're... Come here. Show me... We're on worker 54. We're going to get this resolved quick. Hey there. Screech Rap with the resub.
Just resubscribed for 54 months. Another month passes through the hourglass of time. Time is flying by.
Thank you so much. I don't think we need the transaction here. Let's just let that go. Thank you so much, and I'll make another donation. That save should have worked, and it should... No, you are going to restart, my friend. We'll check out what's going on here. Time is flying by, man. But we've been having such a good time. Close the others. Reload that. There it ran. There it ran. So now when I go back up here and we go into PG admin so we can take a look at what's in the database. It's still starting. Why is it still starting? Why do you take so long? Loading servers. Fine, I'm just going to jump into the website and you can get back to me. There it is, and there's no content because we haven't added any content. So we're getting there. But we got it fixed. Let me jump back into the app host. Just gonna yank that. What? Show me all the changes. That sounds weird. Oh yeah, because I added the ability to disable the retry. And then I removed the transaction. All right. Go ahead and add everything. Fixed DB migration. Yeah. That's good enough. Send that John up. And here we go. Fixed some broken defaults. Forced EN US as default localization. Fixed DB migrations by removing transaction and retries for migrations. There we go. All right. Here we go. So that should build. We should get a little bit of feedback because these builds have been running quick. Right? Less than a minute to run these builds. We'll get it merged in. Happy Black Week. Yes. It is shopping week. There we go. All good. Head back over here. Fix some broken defaults. Yes, indeed. And branches deleted. Good to go, because I know there was some requests because there was a couple things broken there in the build for folks that were new and trying to get contributing. So let me just clean up my local branch. So git branch, delete, fix, local, and I will pull the upstream main and push that up. So now my local forked version of Sharpsight is updated. Not bad. Not bad at all. Oh, man. But you know what? It's time for me to get going. I need to run because I'm getting ready to head to New York City. It's about a 2-hour train ride north for me. Need to get up there. My daughter is marching in the Macy's Day Parade. For those of you that are here in the States, if you're watching NBC, you're watching the big parade in New York on Thanksgiving on Thursday. My daughter is marching with the West Virginia Band. She's spinning a flag. She's in the middle, left to right, in the row of musicians. She's in the middle, spinning a flag on the last row, and the West Virginia Marching Band is the last act before Santa, who traditionally ends the parade. So quite literally, my daughter is the last performer before Santa. It's going to be really great. Weather's not supposed to be too good, but we're going to have a lot of fun in New York City this week. I will be back Monday next week. 6 days from now, I'll be back. We're going to start December. I've got a bunch of things that I want to do to get us set up for a massive month of content in December. It's going to be great. She will not have a purple blazer on. Surly Deaf. No. Hope you're having a fantastic week. If you're in the States, I hope you have a terrific holiday with you and your family. If you're outside the States and you don't observe American Thanksgiving, that's okay. I hope you have a great week to wrap up November here. I'm going to take a look at the rest of Twitch. If you're watching on YouTube, there's a bunch of other great videos down below and over here, depending on how you have your YouTube set up here. I'm going to get you rated over. We're going to go join, let's go join, oh man. Let's go join Bald Bearded Builder. He was here earlier. And, I will see you next week, all right? Have a great one. I wish you good health and good coding. Take care.